Hello, Dennis. Thank you for participating in our interview session because we think would be a nice way to share your knowledge and experience, and it would be great to have more people to know your experience and the answers to those specific questions. I think this is our hot questions. First, the question goes to what do you think or what do you estimate the impact of PRRS in the pig production all over the world?
Well, PRRS for many years has been one of the most costly diseases to the swine industries, whether it's in the United States or Asia or wherever it's cropped up throughout the world. It's been a particularly intractable problem in that the virus is able to change its form, and with modern travel and movement of people and carcasses and even live animals worldwide, we have a constant sort of renewing or stirring of the problem worldwide. It's quite possibly one of the most researched and documented disease with respect to not just its impact on individual farms, but its impact on whole countries or on the global swine industry. And that impact has been tremendous.
And what are the main challenges do you see that's in US or in Asia for PRRS control?
Well, some of the problems are the density of production. We see production cropping up, of course, where economic conditions make it most favorable, where there's an economic low-cost supply of feed, where there's good infrastructure, where there's available land and separation really from urban areas. And so the clustering of production systems in those more or less ideal regions causes the recurrence of the problem of PRRS to be a real issue. I myself have worked with many farms who have repeatedly depopulated their farms in an effort to rid themselves of the disease, only to be reinfected really within the first year of repopulation at tremendous discouragement and financial loss. It's led to some of the most inventive and in many ways restrictive kinds of environments in an attempt to shut it out, but the ability of it to move in so many ways and so many vectors from farm to farm has made it just a constant challenge.
And what do you think is the benefit of piglet vaccination against the PRRS?
Well, if a farm has a recurring problem or a potential problem of PRRS in the grow finish area, it can be a very big economic issue. The impact on slowed growth, the impact on feed efficiency deterioration, the increased death loss, and in places like the United States where the animal carcass is judged by size and by certain quality characteristics, degradation of the quality characteristics of the carcass can cause tremendous economic problems. The issue really comes to the beneficial aspects of prevention versus acting once a disease enters the herd. And one of the things which makes it very effectual to prevent diseases is that our modern day systems are large batch style systems where individual animals are very difficult to monitor. And so we have walkthroughs of buildings, for instance, in grow finish, but it's by the time the changes are sufficient due to the outbreak of a disease such as PRRS, so that it's recognized to be occurring, and then the delay and time necessary to diagnose it and begin treatment, you already have an encroachment of damage on the herd that sometimes is irreversible. You can certainly slow it down in many cases, but we don't really have systems that allow diseases like PRRS to be really quickly detected unless it's a relatively hot or catastrophic kind of outbreak. So prevention really goes to the heart of avoiding the damage period before a disease is detected and treated, and really stands a great chance to realize the opportunity in grow finish rather than to recover just some part of it.
And since you have both experiences in US and in Asia, and Asia is an area has like the world's most pigs. We would say probably 60% to 70% of the world pig population are here. And but actually the efficiency is not that as high as comparing with Europe and US. And so in your eyes, how would you compare or contrast the PRRS situation and the control in these two different areas, for example, in US and in Asia?
Well, one of the things I think we're pretty sure is going to happen, at least as a trend, is that the cost of global resources is going to rise over time as incomes, especially per capita incomes, grow and the demand for global resources, whether it's energy or food or whatever, grows. The allocation of those inputs to agriculture and other uses is going to be done by rising prices. Add to that government intervention and regulation, which may tax or make it more costly to have pig farms in certain areas or to manage environmental issues and so forth. It becomes ever more important over time to gain the maximum productivity out of these scarce available global resources. So especially in regions of the world like Asia, where we have a developing situation and peak levels of efficiency have not been achieved yet because technology has not been fully deployed, the waste of scarce global resources through disease which could have been prevented, it can be a severe problem, not only for the growth of the industry, but its very survival. In the United States, the shift will be from more group-based technologies to technologies that are able to monitor individual animals more closely. And all of this will be in an effort to make sure that the opportunity of represented in the growing pig is fully realized as the cost of growing it becomes more scarce, and as the cost of production because of scarce resources becomes higher.
Okay, Dennis, thank you. That's all the questions we had. Thank you for your sharing your knowledge and experience, and we expect to have another interview probably in next Asian Perspective somewhere.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.